Hello. I'm doing just a quick video because I did finally finish a couple of books and I wanted to cover them. I'm being a little bit quiet because it is a weekday and the husband is doing his conference calls and the kids are doing their school stuff, and I'm trying not to be too distracting, and hopefully they won't be too distracting either, but it is what it is. I also apologize for any glare on my glasses, but I was too lazy to put my contacts in this morning. I haven't been sleeping well. Contacts just, no. So anyway, first off, I finished Piranesi, however you want to say it. I'm going to say Piranesi. I looked it up. It's the name of like a Italian architect. You know, I'm sure Susanna Clarke has an opinion on how to say it, but I'm going to just go with Piranesi because I like the sound of it. And basically, it's not a very long book. It's pretty quick read, but it is the story of it's actually told in journal form, and it's the main character Piranesi's journals of his stay in this. There are these halls and these vestibules, and there's statues everywhere, very much like the architectural drawings of the Italian guy. But like, this is set in from about 2012 to 2019, I want to say. So obviously much later than the Italian artist. Anyway, he's in this world, and I don't want to give too much away. Honestly, it's not a very dense book. It's not dense in terms of plot, let's just say that. It is dense in terms of like there being all these numbers, because he's mapped out these halls, and there's just it was a trial at first for me to read it. I wasn't sure I would finish it. I will admit that. You start in, you're already kind of confused. It takes a little while to get the hang of what's going on, but to be honest, there's not a lot going on for the first half of the book. And then finally there's a little bit of plot that kicks in, and you figure out how he got there and why he's there and all this other stuff. And then it kind of, there's like only one kind of major incident, and then everything just kind of fritters away from there. And so it's not, like I said, it's not a very long book. I don't even know if it's a novel. It might be a novella. I had it on the Kindle. I had an ARC, so it was not formatted entirely properly either. So, you know, that may have given me a sense of like it not being very long or whatever. But I mean, it wasn't a bad book. Like, at the end of the day, at first I thought, oh no, this is only going to be 2 stars, maybe 3. But at the end of the day, I gave it 4 because I was intrigued enough to keep going. Which is, you know, I mean, that's kind of the point of the book, is to make you want to keep reading. And even though the main character didn't, I mean, he had personality, but then, I don't know. Let's just say, like, I did, at the end of the day, I gave it 4 stars. I enjoyed it. I don't think it's for everyone. I don't normally read a lot of high fantasy, but this isn't high fantasy. This is kind of fantasy embroidered over real world conditions, which is more my thing, so maybe I liked it more because of that. It's weird. It's a weird book. It's a weird little, quirky little thing. Give it a try or don't. I don't know. I feel like I've seen people say they loved it. I've seen people say they hated it. I tended to like it more than not. At the end of the day, a lot of people on Goodreads said, oh, I didn't finish it. Like, I got, 30%. I was like, oh, you gave up too soon. It does finally get somewhere, kind of. Like I said, the plot's not deep by any means, but it is interesting. So that's Piranesi. And then I did also read the first Enola Holmes book. I made the mistake. I saw the Netflix film first, and really enjoyed it. And then I didn't even know it was based on a book, and then somebody said, "Oh no, it's based on a series of books." And so I thought, "Oh well, then I want to read those," even though they're middle grade. They're um, and I liked the movie so much more. It's very different from the Netflix movie. So if you go in thinking, "Oh well, I want to read the book version," it starts out the same. Basically, Enola Holmes is the younger sister of Mycroft and Sherlock Holmes, raised by her widowed mother, their widowed mother. She hasn't seen Mycroft and Sherlock since she was little because they went off to London, and Enola thinks it's because of her that they're embarrassed that her mom had another baby so late in life or something, that's considered unseemly, but it turns out that they had a beef with their mom about the estate after their father died, and then on Enola's birthday, her mom goes missing, and so she has to send a note to her brothers saying, Mom's gone. The major differences being that in the movie, I think Enola's aged up to age 16, and in the book she's 14, which changes things quite a bit, actually, because also the Viscount, or the missing Marquess, even though they, whatever, Tewkesbury, in the movie, again, is older. In the book, he's 12. Very different dynamic there. Since I found the movie so charming, I found this less so. It didn't play for me as well, but that said, I did go ahead and start the second one because I bought all 6 or whatever, of the series to try, with my background in loving Sherlock Holmes and all things Sherlock Holmes and tangentially Sherlock Holmes. I wanted to give it a go, and already the second book is, to me, better than the first. Of course, I'm only like 44 pages in. That could change. It could nosedive. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But if you pick this up because you really liked, sorry for the glare again, because you really liked the Netflix movie, you're going to probably be put off a bit. The plot in this one is far more streamlined. There's a lot less going on. I don't know if the Netflix movie grabs things from later books and sprinkles them in, but even the plot with Tewkesbury in this is very different. Also, Tewkesbury himself is in the book a very, like, a platinum blonde Little Lord Fauntleroy type, and kind of a brat, and far less, like I said, charming or lovable. So yeah, it's probably great for the younger kids, although there is hints at things like prostitution and stuff like that, which depending on how world-wise your kids are, you may or may not want them to read, or they may have questions. I don't know. And it does talk at length about gypsies, which a lot of people are not fond of that word. I assume, and I mean, I don't know the research, but I assume the word is accurate for the time period. This is set in 1888. The next book starts in 1889. But still, a lot of people, are very sensitive about that word and the use of that word. And so that might be problematic for some. I don't know. It's only mentioned in passing a couple times, but it does come into play again in later books. So, it might be something to have a discussion about with the kids if you think they want to read the books or something like that. So that's it. Like I said, really quick one today. Just wanted to, catch you up on those couple of books. I gave Enola 3 stars. Now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I might have been generous. It might be more like 2.5 for me. It's kind of like very middle of the road. It's, it's not the worst book. It's not great. Yeah, I mean, and I think after finishing it last night, I think I gave it 3 stars in Goodreads and wrote, well, maybe more like 3.5, but now I'm like, oh, I might actually revise that down a little after having slept on it, even though sleep is not something that's been happening very much lately. So, yeah, I don't know. Somewhere between 2 and 3 stars, I guess. Average. Not awful. Not great. We'll see how the second one goes. The second one starts with Dr. Watson hiring Enola, unbeknownst to him, to look for Enola, which should be interesting to see how that plays out. Okay, so again, I will leave you be. That was quick. Piranesi, 4 stars. Enola, 2.5, 3. And I'll tell you how I feel about the next Enola Holmes book when I'm done with it, and whatever else I end up reading. I'm on like book 60 for the year, which is actually not a lot for me. Last year I read 80 something books, so I'm behind quite a bit. But I've also been writing a lot more. I just finished the draft of my latest novel, so I'm going to be editing that, and so my reading time is decidedly condensed. All right. Take care. Be safe. Good health. Good luck to everyone, and I will see you next time.